This is Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review with your NHL early lines report for the games taking place on Thursday, December the 1st. Yeah, December is here, but hockey keeps on going, and we've got Thursday, a big slate as usual on a Thursday in the NHL. We're going to begin by looking at Dallas taking on Pittsburgh. East versus West matchup, and an interesting matchup because when you think of the Stars and the Penguins, you think of two of the higher scoring teams in the NHL the last couple of seasons. Well, last year, these two teams played twice, and both meetings went under the total. Same thing 2 years before, two seasons ago. Two more games between these teams under the total. 4-0 to the under, the Stars and Penguins in the last four head-to-head meetings, which is not what you would expect for two teams that have been able to, be very good offensively, among the league leaders in the NHL in terms of goals scored for a team. Pittsburgh and Dallas have been right up there. Pittsburgh coming off a 4-3 shootout win against New Jersey. Of course, Pittsburgh was in action Wednesday against the Islanders, so this will be a back-to-back situation for them. Dallas comes in off the game against Detroit on Tuesday night where they lost 3-1. Dallas struggling a bit once again. They've just not been able to get any sort of consistent winning streak together. They've dropped two games in a row on the road here against Detroit and St. Louis. I think Dallas actually might be worth a look. I don't ever want to lay a price with Dallas because Dallas is one of those teams that they're just not good enough defensively. You never know what you're going to get. Goaltending from either Antti Niemi or Kari Lehtinen. I never am comfortable laying a price with Dallas, but considering you got Dallas off back-to-back losses to begin this road trip, be a little bit desperate. Pittsburgh playing the second of back-to-back games. Maybe you'll lean to Dallas at a nice plus 170, plus 175 price tag in this game. See if they can maybe pull an upset in this game. We've got the New York Rangers taking on the Buffalo Sabres, and how about the difference Jack Eichel makes to the Buffalo Sabres? I mean, you just saw it in one game back on Tuesday night against the Ottawa Senators, just what a difference maker Eichel is. And I mentioned that in the Tuesday video. Eichel is going to make this team better. Every teammate around him on that Sabres team is going to get a little pep of energy, adrenaline, a little boost of both of those with him back on the ice. It just makes this team overall a better team, and of course they get the 5-4 victory against the Senators. They explode offensively. I mean, this is a Buffalo team that prior to the game against Ottawa, you look at what they had done offensively, it was brutal. They had scored 2 goals or less in 9 of their last 10 games prior to that 5-goal outburst against the Senators on Tuesday night. Jack Eichel really does make a difference. Goal and an assist for him in his return. And I think he can continue the offensive success here in this game. And I think Buffalo is a team. They had been so offensively challenged for so long that now that they get Eichel back, you have to wonder if maybe there's going to be some value to back the Sabres because they were playing so poorly prior to his return. Buffalo had won just two of their last 10 games prior to that win against Ottawa with Eichel back on the ice. So I think there's some value to bet Buffalo right now. And the New York Rangers, for as good as they've been, and they have been good. They've gotten off to a tremendous start, 16-8 on the season. Great home record, 9-5 on the road. They've been able to win 2 at 7-3, but some things that do concern me about the Rangers is that they don't have the greatest Corsi numbers. They don't have the greatest puck possession numbers, yet they've been able to score goals in bunches and win games despite that. Eventually that might catch up to you just a little bit. There's probably going to be some regression on the way for this Rangers team. I know they've played great, and let's not forget they do have a couple of injuries. Zibanejad, namely him, one of their top centermen, he's out with a leg injury. So I think at some point there's going to be a leveling off, at least a little bit for the Rangers. They're not going to fall off. They're going to be fine. They should be a playoff team, no problem. But I think there is going to be a leveling off. You look at this recent series between these teams, 3 meetings in a row have gone over the total, and I think Buffalo might trend a little bit over the total with Eichel back, looking to open things up, gives more room on the ice for the other guys as well, like Kyle Okposo, Ryan O'Reilly, Evander Kane. With Eichel back, there's going to be more room for them to make plays and put the puck in the net as well. So I think in this game I'll lean a little bit to the Buffalo Sabres as an underdog at home. A little momentum finally with Eichel back, and also the game to go up and over the total. We've got Florida taking on Detroit, and I will say this, I watched that Florida-Chicago game Tuesday night. We had Florida as a play of the day, didn't win. They lost in a shootout 2-1, but I did not like the body language on that Florida team. They look like they're still miffed, they're still pissed, they're still upset that Gerard Gallant was fired. He was a player's coach. Apparently the players really liked him, but because of philosophical differences between Gallant and the management of the Florida Panthers, they decided to fire him. The players didn't give the response that players usually give in that first game after a coach is fired. That makes me think they're still a little bit upset that he was fired, and it makes me reevaluate Florida being a team I wanted to bet on following the coaching change. I think there's some issues. I don't think they're on board with Gerard Gallant getting turfed. And that's a concern. I thought their effort level could have been a hell of a lot better in that game against Chicago. If not for Roberto Luongo, I think that game probably could have been much worse for the Florida Panthers in that hockey game. We'll see if they can answer the bell here, but Detroit, unfortunately, they're not playing the team I was hoping they'd play. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this Red Wings team right now. Now, they did beat Dallas 3-1 at home in their last game. Maybe they get a little spurt from that, but prior to that, they had not been playing good hockey. They had been 2-5 in 7 games prior to the win against Dallas. And it's a very banged-up hockey team. I mean, Jimmy Howard's injured, Andreas Athanasiou's injured, Darren Helm's injured, Brendan Smith now on the blue line, a big injury. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. That's one of their better, more steady defensemen. So there's some issues injury-wise with the Red Wings. Depth a concern for this team, but Florida, after what I saw against Chicago, mentally and emotionally, I don't think this team's checked in to where they need to be following that coaching change. I don't think they're very happy whatsoever about Gerard Gallant being fired, and for that reason, I'm a little bit concerned to back Florida once again here in this game. Probably would lean to Detroit if I had to, even though they're a little bit banged up, but maybe a game you're best off leaving alone in the end. Tampa Bay, St. Louis, good matchup here. Two teams that are probably going to be playoff contenders in each conference. Tampa Bay just got shellacked by the Columbus Blue Jackets the other night, 5-1. They've now lost 3 in a row. 2 of those losses against Columbus, and they also lost to Boston 4-1. So there's issues right now with Tampa Bay not playing great. And you know what? It's hard to totally, throw them under the bus for the way they've played. Stamkos out. Ryan Callahan now on IR. Anton Strawman's been a huge loss. Anton Strawman really has. It's not sure if he'll play. They're saying he's been cleared for contact, but he may not return it for this game against St. Louis. But they'd certainly welcome him back because they've struggled in terms of goals against since Anton Strawman went down. We'll see if he's able to come back here. St. Louis rather, off back-to-back wins against Minnesota and Dallas at home. Tampa Bay, I'm kind of interested in Tampa Bay in backing them here just because, they're off 3 straight losses. They're probably going to be coming here with a big effort, but problem is Tampa's really struggled with the Blues. Tampa's 0-5 in the last 5 meetings, including 0-4 in the last 4 meetings here in St. Louis. So there's definitely some concerns with that. If I had to, I'd still lean to the Lightning, but still undecided if I'll actually bet that at this point in time. Edmonton, Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets, apparently all they needed to do was return home, and they could get things back on track, and sure enough, that's what they've done. They had a brutal road trip. I mean, 5 games on that road trip. They lost every single one of them. They were held to 1 goal or 2 goals or less in all 5 of those games that they lost on that road trip. Now they come home from that road trip, and they notched 2 straight wins against Nashville and New Jersey. So Jets return home, and they're getting healthier, which is good to see. Toby Enstrom had been dealing with a personal matter. He is back from Sweden from attending that personal matter and is expected to suit up for the Jets in this game on Thursday. Matthew Perreault's close to returning. Marco Dano left the last game, but he may be back. Of course, they got Brian Little back, one of their top centermen, for the game against New Jersey on Tuesday. So it's a Jets team playing better, playing well at home, and healthier. That's good news. And Edmonton, they're trending in the other direction. They've lost 3 in a row. 2 of them to Arizona, back-to-back to the Coyotes they lost, and then they lost to Toronto at home the other night. You'd expect a better effort from them, but I think Winnipeg might have this game circled a little bit. Don't forget, these teams met on the outdoor game, the Heritage Classic, back in October in Winnipeg, and Oilers shut them out 3-0. So I think Winnipeg would like some payback. I like the way Winnipeg's played at home this year, 8-4 on home ice. This Winnipeg team. I think at this price, I'll look to back the Jets. In fact, I probably will. I'd recommend Winnipeg there, -115. In fact, we're going to get back to this game for play of the day at the end of this video. New Jersey, Chicago. New Jersey, a team that really, since getting Mike Camilleri back, they've started to score some goals all of a sudden. but they're also starting to give up some goals. So it's a funny thing. Camilleri comes back, they're scoring more, but they're giving up more goals, and they're certainly giving up more shots. And that's definitely been a concern. They gave up 41, 31, 33, 49, 29 shots in their last 5 games. Not what you think of with the New Jersey Devils. They've gone over the total in 3 of their last 4 games with 1 push. So it's a team that's starting to change their spots a little bit. I don't know if it's going to last, but right now I think there's probably some value to bet New Jersey games over the total. Certainly that's the way I'd lean in this game. Now Chicago's not exactly been trending over themselves lately. They've had trouble scoring goals consistently. You look at their last 5 games, they've scored 2 goals or less in 4 of those 5 games. That's a concern. It has me lukewarm probably on this over recommendation, but I think from a totals perspective, 5, the total in this game, plus 100, over a lean is probably the way I'd go in this game. Don't know if I want to back New Jersey on the road. They've been such a poor road team all year. It continued again on Tuesday night with the loss against Winnipeg. Now 3-10 on the season, the New Jersey Devils away from home. That's not a track record I want to back a team in on the road. And we'll wrap it up with Columbus and Colorado. I decided to choose this game because the Blue Jackets are one of the surprise stories in the NHL this year. Great start to the season they've had. 12-9. Fantastic win the other night against Tampa Bay, 5-1. Tampa Bay was in a revenge spot too for losing at home to Columbus on Friday, and Columbus, no matter for them, they still take care of business once again, beating the Lightning for the second time in less than a week. Really impressive. Zach Werenski, great rookie for this team, has done a great job, and really they're getting great balanced contributions up and down their lineup. Cam Atkinson, what a season, 20 points. Alexander Venberg, 20 points. Nick Foligno, 19. Brandon Saad, 17 points. Sam Gagner's come back from the dead and played well for this team, 13 points. Finally playing like the first-round pick he was a long time ago. So really good news for Columbus. Defensively, they've been better than expected. Sergei Bobrovsky's been very, very solid, very sharp in net all season long, which you would expect from him. And Colorado, there's not much to like right now with this Colorado team, really struggling mightily. They've lost 3 in a row to Edmonton, Vancouver, Nashville, all at home. Again, dealing with the absence of their captain, Gabriel Landeskog. That hasn't helped. Not much going right now for the Colorado Avalanche. So even though they're a rare home underdog here, I'd still probably have to give a lean to the Jackets. They're just the better team in better form at this point in time. All right, let's wrap it up. Back to the play of the day for the Thursday, December 1st NHL card. We're going back to the Winnipeg game hosting the Edmonton Oilers. I talked about it. Winnipeg's feeling good. They're back home. They've had a good home record this year, 8-4. Oilers are slumping, and I think Winnipeg, after losing to Edmonton 3-0 in that outdoor game earlier this season, I think that's still in the back of their minds that, hey, let's get these guys back. And they're certainly playing better right now than Edmonton is. Price looks cheap to me. Let's do it. Let's take Winnipeg, minus 115, rotation number 66. Winnipeg Jets, minus 115 over the Edmonton Oilers, your Thursday, December 1st, NHL Play of the Day. All right, that'll wrap up my NHL Early Lines report. I'm Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. As always, check out sportsbookreview.com. It's got everything you need. Live odds, videos, articles, sportsbook rating guide, bonus options that these sportsbooks offer. Really, sportsbookreview.com, it's giving you all the information you need to set up an account, put money in it, make good betting decisions with our videos, articles from tons of great handicappers, and put you in a position to make money via sports betting, because that's what we're all about. So until next time, enjoy the games and good luck.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.